Swimming pools in the upper deck. There's a look inside Everbank Stadium here in Duval County, Florida. The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. To throw on the first play, McCarthy. A short throw pulled in by Kincaid. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Throwing is McCarthy. Eluding the pressure right. And he wisely will throw that one away. So, Charles, this defense, they definitely know that they've got their hands full here going up against a group that has won 7 straight. What's the key for them in this ball game?
Well, we asked their defensive coordinator that very question, and the response was, we have the mindset that they actually have to react to us, not the other way around. So it sounds to me like the plan is to do the attacking and not wait to see what they present to them.
Here's McCarthy. He finds his man, complete. It's Fleming. And this will be good for a pickup of 9 to the 46. Throwing again, McCarthy. Pass taken in by his big tight end. Catch number 40 for him on the year. It's a first down. Well, they kept it simple there, CD, only needing the short gain to move the chains, so they didn't want to go with a deep throw. They just go with that safer, shorter throw and able to convert.
Nothing wrong with that at all, partner. Check the box, right? Make sure you pick up the first down. Offense is getting established. You're moving the ball. You're not turning it over. Check, check, check. They like what they're doing early in the game.
The throw over the middle taken in. And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line. McCarthy now on first down. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by Tyson Campbell. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And they'll get this down to the 10. So they escape, so to speak, maintaining the football. Defensively, though, opportunity miss.
It definitely was, because that's all defenses talk about. Getting the football and either advancing it the other way or just getting possession and turning it over to their offense. That can be a little bit deflating. You're exactly right. A lost opportunity.
And this is going to be intercepted. And the Jaguars are going to take possession of the football as they force the turnover on the opening drive. Well, that is a quick lesson on how difficult this defense is to throw against. An interception on their initial drive of the ball game.
Now we know why their offensive staff spent the entire week awake trying to prepare for this one, because you can't totally shy away from throwing the football. But at the same time, you're looking at them and going, where are the weaknesses? How are we going to move it?
One of the top defenses in the NFL for a reason. We just saw one example right there. So after the INT, it's Rodgers. Short throw hauled in by Kelsey. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. The catch and run, good for 18 and a first down.
And what a nice example there of a tight end doing exactly what he needs to do. How about how he worked his way to the outside, made sure he secured the catch, and then anything after that, we count that as a bonus. And indeed, he gets enough for the first down.
On 1st and 10, it's Bigsby. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down. The Jaguars at 6-3 on the year, and they come in playing pretty well, 6-3 in their last 9.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
From the 47 now, they work with a 2nd and 7. Another run by Bigsby. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. A yard in the wrong direction makes 3rd down tougher. 3rd down and 9. But you look at this defense. They were terrific last week in the victory over Kansas City.
I lost count of the number of turnovers that were occurring in that game.
Did.
Right? I mean, I had a clicker going after a while. 5, 6, 7, 8. It was unbelievable. There haven't been that many turnovers or takeaways, however you want to say, in the game since the Reagan administration. This is absolutely unreal.
I was in diapers. On play action, now Rodgers. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. And he's just across midfield and down at the 49-yard line. And, Charles, that's now 4 interceptions over his last 3 halves of football, because, remember, he threw 3 picks last week.
Starting to wonder if maybe defenses... And
for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. He's to the 15, and he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. But what a response by that defensive unit, Charles, because they just saw their offense throw the interception. They come out there, not only get an interception of their own, but they take it back for the touchdown.
I won't sing it because no one wants to hear that, but perhaps an early case of anything you can do, I can do better between these defenses. A lot of people came to expect the offense to light this game up, but so far, the defenses are stealing the show.
The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And there, of course, was a lot of talk about this ball game coming into play. 2 division leaders in the AFC. Could this be a potential playoff preview down the line?
Yeah, and I think when you're talking about the talk about this game coming into play, you're talking about me because I blew up your phone all week prior to this one. I was so excited about this game because, to me, it's not out of the realm of possibility that these 2 teams see each other again down the road. I like this matchup. They match up very well against each other.
And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Now McCarthy throwing on 1st down. It's caught inside the 25. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Samuel going to go in motion right. And this is caught for a Bills touchdown. A great effort there. Touchdown number 15 of the year. And the Bills are an extra point away from drawing level. The kick is through the uprights to tie this game, but hang on a second. We do have a flag. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And he probably wishes he would have sat on that one. Instead, he's only able to get this up beyond the 15-yard line. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And Thomas has it. And able to get this across the 20 before going out of bounds. Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and that will bring up 2nd down. Well, this defense for the Bills, they were terrific last week in the victory over Kansas City.
And I think our statistician, we ended up having to bring the blue tent and put it around him for a while because he was developing a hand injury from having to write down all the turnovers this team forced. 5, 6, 7, 8. Absolutely unbelievable. I hope he'll recover.
This 2nd and 4. Rodgers now to throw. Being chased out left. Open man, it's the tight end, Kelsey. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45. An excellent pickup of 34 yards.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big gain. So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. From the gun, he'll hand this off. And he'll get what he can up the middle, 3 yards. That'll bring up 2nd down.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
So give them 5 yards there on the pitch and catch, and that'll leave them with a 3rd and 2. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. Rodgers looking to throw on 3rd and 2. Getting this out to the flat, Mostert. And he will have a Jaguars first down by a couple of yards as they're able to convert there on 3rd and 1.
Well, they've certainly done a nice job spreading the ball around on this drive. This time he gets it out to his back, and it's another nice play and another first down. They've got the defense on their heels a little bit. They're reacting instead of being aggressive and making plays.
On 1st down, Rodgers dancing to his left. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
My first thought is surprise because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
First carry for Raheem Mostert. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
This will be the 8th play of the drive here. 3rd and 4. Now it's Rodgers. He's got his target. That's complete. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. That'll put him at 66 receiving yards now for the game, and he's got a first down. And here's a handoff out of the gun. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
Meanwhile, Rodgers' throw here complete to Kelsey. A gain of 8 there on the play. And now we've got a 3rd and 3. A few moving pieces on that play because that was an RPO, was it not?
It was, but one important piece that didn't move incorrectly, the offensive line. Because when you're running this play, as he continued down the line of scrimmage, sometimes the lineman can wander downfield. And if you're more than a yard downfield, it's illegal to throw the football at that point. But they held their ground, held their spot, and turned it into a nice game.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. On 3rd down, here comes Mostert. Yeah, this is only going to be a gain of 2. He needed 3. It's 4th and 1.
When a good play is made on defense, oftentimes leverage is the key to everything. Defensive line not getting turned, all the other guys making sure they're in the right spot, and on that play, they were able to stop him short of a first down.
And his kick is good. So a long drive gets him down inside the 5, but ultimately they settle for just the field goal.
And I have to think that if maybe they were a yard closer, that would have made their decision tougher, and I think they likely would have gone for it. But in this situation, they just decided to take the 3, and I think it was a smart move.
Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the #1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in, but I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you, that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we'd be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today.
Right.
So they've got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in the spot where they're #1 in their conference.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. McCarthy, he'll set to throw it. Escaping the pressure right. And he'll just get rid of it.
There's a quarterback who's learned his lesson. He's thrown a few interceptions so far. That time he said, I'm making sure nobody catches this one.
2nd and 10. They'll send a receiver here in motion right. McCarthy going to throw again. And this one almost intercepted. Far too loose with the football. Nearly a 4th pick of the ball game.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
On 3rd down, they'll throw in McCarthy. Flushed out right. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. McCarthy to throw on 1st and 10. A short throw pulled in by Kincaid. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. First down, here's the run with Cook. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. Now the Bills are going to use the first of their timeouts, as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half #1. To the air with McCarthy. He finds his man, complete. That's Fleming. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets this down to about the 21 or 22. And now they'll shift things around. Samuel going to go in motion right. On 1st down, McCarthy. And he'll throw this one away, but I don't think he was out of the pocket. No, here comes the flag. We saw it too. Nobody in the vicinity of that throw, and that earns him the penalty.
Yeah, you've got to at least get it close enough to one of your own guys in order to dodge the penalty.
They lose the yardage, and of course they also lose the down on the grounding call, and it's quickly 2nd and long. Now McCarthy. This one complete to Curtis Samuel. And he takes a shot at the end of that play. Now the Bills will use the 2nd of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the first half. Looking to throw McCarthy. Throw left side to Kincaid. Only able to gain a couple there.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Going for it, here's McCarthy. Buying time to his left. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Bills' drive stalls out on 4th down. And this 11-play drive is going to lead to nothing on the scoreboard. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. And with 8 seconds on the clock, really not a lot of time to try to put anything together.
Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out. Hey, take 26. Check it out,
and they're just going to run it here up the middle. And he'll work this back to right around the line of scrimmage and surrender there. Time for a break. We've hit halftime. 2 quarters down. 2 still remain. We step aside. This is the NFL on EA Sports. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. A good, tight football game thus far. 10-7 the score as we resume action on EA Sports. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And despite the turnovers, Charles, and they had multiple in that first half, they still have the lead as they begin this third quarter.
And they probably heard some conflicting tones at the half, don't you think? A lot of praise for what they...
A leap, and he's got it. He got it. And he gets us to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. Give him 32 on the play.
You just had the feeling that sooner or later someone was going to come up with that one play. Neither team has really done a whole lot offensively, but here's one that pays off to the tune of big yardage, and it's one that could maybe get this group in gear.
Bang, 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 bang. Over here. Watch the shit.
On 1st and 10, it's Mostert. And he stopped immediately there. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. You don't see that a ton, do you? With the cornerback coming over to the middle of the field to make a run tackle.
That's someone with a ton of confidence to feel like nothing is pressuring him on his side of the field. Sees that the ball's moved to the middle and just sprints over there to help out. He ends up getting the tackle. Well played.
It's going to be a long day. Hey, Mike 20, Mike 20. Hey, D-line, let's get in there. 26.
Here's Rodgers to throw. Steps away to his left. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time.
Tight ends ring on the 50. Tight ends on the ring. We got 3, fellas. We got 3. 24 is the mic. Hey, tight inside. Switch. Check 24, check 24.
Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. That is caught. He's going to have the 1st down and more than that. Touchdown, Jaguars. Brian Thomas, 43 yards. And they are able to add on to their advantage. Extra point splits the uprights, and his guys will take a 10-point lead. After the touchdown, Cook now to kick this one away. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And their deficit a little wider than it was at halftime. Does that touchdown a minute ago change the thinking here at all?
I think it does, at least a little bit, because now urgency has to start setting in. You can't go out there and go 3 and out and run the risk of falling behind substantially, but you have to do it without pressing, because pressing, that'll lead you into bigger errors.
They'll go play action. Here's McCarthy. Little pitch and catch to the tight end, Knox. And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45. First target, first catch, and a 1st down.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
And he's going to take this across midfield into Jacksonville territory. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2. Looking to throw. McCarthy. A short throw pulled in by Kincaid. That'll put him at 77 yards receiving for the ball game. It's a 1st down. Not liking the look. They'll change the play. Cook up the gut. And little room to maneuver there. He gets it down to about the 39. Jalen Phillips, the edge man on the tackle. Here now 2nd and 9 from the 39-yard line. They run it again with Cook. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. 58 yards rushing for him now, and he's carried the ball just 5 times. 1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Back to throw. McCarthy. He's got it. Touchdown. Dalton Kincaid. A 5-yard touchdown. And the Bills are back within a score. Extra point by Bass, up and good. And the lead's down to a field goal at 17-14. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. Their lead down to a field goal now as they start with a 1st and 10. On play action, Rodgers. Open man here. It's the tight end, Kelsey. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. A very solid gain of 27.
As they began this drive, I was wondering how they were going to attack since they're playing with the lead. Would they continue to try and push the ball downfield? Well, after one play, it appears that the answer is yes.
And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 47. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Here's Rodgers. Oh, and that'll be incomplete. Oh, he took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
When defenses get to the quarterback that quickly, a lot of times it's called a jailbreak. It wasn't quite that fast, but fast enough that he had no time to look downfield and set himself to throw the ball. And as he tried to do that, he was hit, and it forced an incompletion.
From the gun, a run with Mostert. And he can only manage to get this to the 45-yard line. Well short of the 1st. 2 yards on the pickup there. It's 4th down. So look at this. Here's the field goal unit coming out. And he is going to need to bomb this one. And this is good. It was running out of gas there at the end, but he winds up getting just enough on it. I don't know if you ever go into a game expecting to attempt a kick of 62 yards. Charles, not only attempt it, but make it one of the longest kicks that we've ever seen.
Yeah, I'm not sure you ever go into a game expecting to kick one of this distance, but all the better kickers, they do dream of it, and they show what they can do in practice and convince their coaches to give them a chance. That one surely paid off.
The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown On their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
Throwing on second down, McCarthy. Little pitch and catch to the tight end, Knox. Muscles him off. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down. Now a give, right side. Randall, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
They have 3 tight ends in that formation. That's almost a universal sign that they're planning to run the football. But how about the defense there? They met force with force and caused a stack up behind the line of scrimmage and threw him for a loss.
Back to the ground, this time Cook. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down.
Well, they went back to him, but the results were similar, so I highly doubt that he'll get another opportunity here on 3rd and long.
This offense so far on 3rd down, they've been okay. 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 14. Looking to throw. McCarthy. Flush to his right. And getting this just shy of midfield. They'll spot it at the 49. 2 first downs have them up near midfield now on 1st and 10. They'll bring a receiver in motion right.
Here we go, G, get off the field.
1st and 10. Here's McCarthy. That's going to be caught by Samuel. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
Timing is so important on a route like this because he's going to line up out right and then cut straight across the field. I think the ball might have come out a count or two too late because by the time he was able to secure it, not much of a chance to turn it upfield.
Winds up and lets it go for Samuel. And this is caught inside the 5. A big play here for the Bills. 42 yards.
Well, this is where an offense needs to show what it's made of, and in fact, where a quarterback needs to show what he's made of, trying to engineer a 4th quarter comeback, and he hits a big one right there.
They're going to run with Taysom Hill, and he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. Here's the occasional ball carrier. It's Taysom Hill. And he'll take it into the end zone for a touchdown. Taysom Hill, his first rushing touchdown on the year. And the Bills are an extra point away from going back on top here in the 4th. A very important extra point there, up and good. And they have taken the lead here in this 4th quarter. Some hitting going on now. This has been a tight game, and he takes a big shot there on the return. This is 1st and 10. They fake the give. Now Rodgers. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down.
That's some good closing speed there defensively because that looked open for a minute. But that's great work with the ball in the air. Never gave up, converged on his man, and broke the play up.
Here's 2nd down. Rodgers going to throw. Caught. Kelsey, left side. And they're able to get this one across the 35.
And here we are in the fourth quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. Not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
Plenty of time. All 3 timeouts still remain. Here's 1st and 10 now. They run out of the shotgun with Mostert. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
Not in a position where they absolutely have to rush right now, but they definitely have to pick up the tempo a bit.
Now Rodgers. Complete. The tight end, Kelsey. And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line.
But they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
Here's 1st and 10. They'll try and run this one right up the gut. And he'll get this down only to about the 46. They're making steady progress, but I see your face. You're worried about that clock.
I'm worried about the clock, and at some point, you have to have a splash play in there as well.
They'll come up now on 2nd down. Rodgers to throw. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout as the clock stops with 23 seconds to go in the game. This definitely 4-down territory at this point, but a critical 3rd down here. To throw is Rodgers. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Now the Jags will use the 2nd of their timeouts. And as the 2 teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. Gotta avoid the flags defensively. Here's 4th and long. Now Rodgers, gotta have this one. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And now this ball picked up by the offense. But here in the final 2 minutes of the game, this will be blown dead. Only the fumbler can advance the football. So this will go back to the spot of the fumble itself. Now it looks like he'll throw here. And this turns into a nice gain with a slide at the end. And we will get a timeout with 2 ticks left. It's 1st and goal, and a late touchdown at this stage could officially salt this one away. Operating from the gun, McCarthy toward the end zone, but that's going to